Hi everyone, welcome to Clooney Watches channel. You are at the right channel, you are at the right place. Today, and only today, as my gift to you for this holiday season, I am going to reveal the greatest secret ever revealed on any of the YouTube watch channels. But before I do, I'm going to have a sip of my coffee. You take that time and that opportunity to check my imaginary webpage where I sell some imaginary watch crap for you at very inflated prices. See if you like something and make sure you order it. And also, while I'm drinking my coffee, make sure to subscribe on my channel, because this is channel full of surprises, inside informations, and I want to grow to be bigger than anyone else. I must rule the YouTube watch world. So here comes coffee. Now you do your thing, okay? This coffee tastes like easy money. Beautiful. Now, I hope you did what I asked you, because here it comes. Build it up, build it up. It's the moment that will most likely be remembered for decades after it's revealed. And the secret revealed is, do not fail for clickbaits. Don't. My dear friends, thank you for coming to my channel. Obviously, this was a clickbait title, and it was there to illustrate what was the most common trend among the YouTube watch channels in year 2019. We're ending 2019. We are in a festive holiday season. I hope you're all wonderfully happy and with your friends and family. I hope you're eating well, you have a good company, you're relaxed. And it gives us a chance to reflect a little bit. And that's the real purpose of this video, besides playing a little joke at the beginning. And that is to reflect on year 2019 from the point of view of a watch collector, and see some of my, I wouldn't call them predictions, but opinions on what 2020 might look like. So, the year 2019, I think, had some interesting trends in the watch industry. For many of us, we heard predictions that retro is going to disappear, that retro is overdone, that it's becoming annoying. Yet, it was very prominent in 2019. Some really interesting re-editions of some really iconic classic timepieces. I am not one of those that complains about it, because, in all honesty, I am a big fan of the vintage aesthetics, vintage designs, but I'm not a fan of the vintage quality. So getting a pieces in modern materials, with better movements, with better water resistance, that are holding in themselves a wonderful heritage and beautiful vintage aesthetics, is a big plus for me. I think retro was prominent in 2019, and I think retro is here to stay. Blue dials were everywhere. Blue dials are loved. I think it's kind of logical, but what was not logical from the perspective of the dial colors was salmon. Salmon was quite popular. Everyone wanted salmon, everyone produced salmon dials. Me, I never really got it. I call it kind of foo-foo. I don't see anything appealing in it for me personally, but I know we all have a different taste, thank God for it, and that makes this watch world of ours just so more diverse, so more different, and it's okay. But salmon dial, in my opinion, is not going to last much longer. The watches are getting smaller. The big watch trend is gone. It's just slowly disappearing. There are still watches that can be tolerated for their size as the tool watches or watches with heritage that simply dictates and allows for the larger size, such as Panerai or larger Navi timers or some larger diver watches like Blancpain. Makes sense, right? But overall, big watch trend is diminishing. And we notice that smaller size watches are returning. But don't get carried away. No, it's not 36 millimeter and below. That's still too small. And if you have a smaller wrist, if you can wear those watches, if they can actually look right on you, you will still find great deals, because watches of that size are not fetching the favorable pricing. So yeah, that will definitely be favorable for you. The clear leaders of the market from the watch industry perspective are Rolex and Patek. And I would say Rolex, really, because Patek is mainly getting attention and getting a lead in their sport watches segment, which is a very small segment for Patek, while the Rolex is just kicking ass big time. And I think every watch company is trying very hard to imitate Rolex game. If that is a game, I don't know. Is it a game? I don't think so. I think it's a practice. I mean, I'm a businessman. I'm in business. I believe in copying best business practices. Nothing wrong with that. So other companies are certainly allowed to do that. And they are trying. But there is something very, very important. Don't forget, it's not always what's on surface. So making a product more desired by reducing or controlling production, or not dumping huge amounts of your product on a gray market and devaluing and bringing the price point too low, is a certainly important component of that building consumer confidence. But it's not like this. It's not instant. It's not something that happens immediately overnight. It takes time. You need to nurture your consumer. You need to nurture the confidence in that consumer. So you can't just go and say, well, up to last year, we would dump all our watches on a gray market and devalue the product, so the consumer had a real concern buying our watch at a specific price point. Therefore, we're changing this year. But who knows, next year our board members might require something different, so we might return to our previous tactics. It will take a decade. It will take certain length of the time to rebuild that confidence in specific company and specific product. I want to talk about some things I observed, let's say, with Seiko company. Seiko is an extremely popular brand among those who appreciate watches at a great value point. And as the watch enthusiast, I always recommend it to my friends that when they're looking for the watch of the decent quality, to go to, and it's at a price point, let's say, below $1,000, to go and look at the Seiko. But what I noticed with Seiko, they are increasing the pricing on their mid-range, lower mid-range, and it's becoming dear. It's just becoming very expensive. So is Seiko a good value brand for now, for at this moment? I don't know. I'm not so sure. I know that I pulled back, and I know that these prospects lines and so on are becoming too dear for my taste. Now, Grand Seiko also incorporated a bit of a Omega and Rolex in their higher echelon of the watches, such as Grand Seiko, which is without any question exceptional product. But what's up with all these limited editions? I don't know. Making them more in demand, harder to get. Rolex side, limited editions. Omega side, I don't know. They were always really driven by their uniqueness, by their quality, by their movements, by their accuracy, by their polishing quality, finishing. Now it's becoming a game of limited quantities, but then large number of limited quantities. I don't know where that's going. But it's certainly a game in which are many trying to catch up with Rolex as a company. However, don't forget, the way Rolex is set up, the way Rolex is driven, it's slightly different. And it will take much, much more to catch up with them and copy-paste their business practice. How do I see year 2020? Well, I think one comment from Hudinki on the question I seen online might indicate how I see 2020 developing. The comment was to Hudinki, is this watch going to be discounted? And it was Omega timepiece. And response was, are you getting a discount on Rolex? So I think we're going to see more and more of brands trying to approach Rolex way of doing things. I think we're going to see reduced availability of some watches on the gray market for reduced pricing. I think we're going to see less discounts in ADs. And I'm kind of expecting that some brands like Omega, for example, or maybe even Breitling or not TAG. I doubt that TAG will go there. We will see less and less of IWC. I think we're going to see some price increases. I think we're going to see less of the discounts. Hey, I might be wrong. I don't know. But these are some gut feelings I have in the aspect of where do I see the upcoming year in the watch industry. I am personally hoping and expecting to see some cool, great things from Rolex in next Basel World, which is diminishing, and I think it will exist only in a form of a previous glory, and it will exist only as long as Rolex is there, which is kind of sad. Yeah, it is kind of sad, but guess what? Social media killed Basel World. It really did. So, Rolex might do some interesting things. I will obviously do a different video as we approach the Basel World on what my predictions or my expectations or my hopes are for new Rolex releases. But I'm really feeling strongly that we are going to see new movement for Rolex Submariner. And I am really hoping that we might see some new colors in the world of GMT. I would love to see Coke. So if Coke is coming out, I want to be on the imaginary list ASAP. Do you hear me? Anyway, so that's where I see the 2020. I'm looking forward to this year. I am looking forward to sharing my hobby with all of you. And at the end, I just want to wish you all happy and prosperous year 2020. Good health above all. Happiness with your family, with your friends. And thank you all for being here. Thank you all for being part of my hobby. All the best to all of you from Bear Clooney. Thank you so much for watching Bear Clooney Watches channel. Please don't forget to subscribe. All the best to all of you.